say they should get $58 billion. NPR's Libby Lewis reports.
A group of Indian tribe members filed the lawsuit in 1996. It claimed the government mismanaged millions of dollars in royalties from oil, gas, and timber companies that were held in trust from Indian lands over the past century. Since then, the government has spent $127 million trying to account for the money in the trust, but it hasn't been able to do so. And Judge James Robertson has ruled that a proper accounting would be impossible to do, partly because Congress has refused to pay for it. So Robertson will decide how much the government should pay the tribe members. Lawyers for the government say the judge doesn't have the power to order it to pay any money, which just sets them up for another appeal. Libby Lewis, NPR News, Washington.
At least a dozen people in Algeria died yesterday when 2 bombs went off in a town east of Algiers. Among those killed, a French engineer and several Algerian soldiers and firefighters. There was no immediate claim of responsibility. A group called Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb has previously staged attacks in the area. Yesterday's bombs detonated within minutes of each other, and they're the third attack in Algeria in 5 days. Altogether, these recent attacks have killed and wounded more than 20 people. The Boston Celtics won Game 2 of the NBA Finals against the LA Lakers last night. The score 108-102. The Celtics took advantage of good bench depth with second-year player Leon Powell scoring 21 points. I'm Paul Brown, NPR News in Washington.
Support for NPR comes from the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation, making grants to solve social and environmental problems at home and around the world. On the web at hewlett.org.
Good morning. It's 6 minutes past 8 o'clock. I'm Tom Borgert in WOSU News. Temperature is 76 degrees. Skies are sunny. The mercury today headed for a high of 94. That's a near record high in Columbus. Heat taking its toll across the state. Cincinnati cooling centers have opened. Columbus Division of Fire reports that some fire hydrants opened unauthorized. And also the 35 East Chestnut building downtown, the Ohio Department of Health has a day off today because of air conditioning not working. Holy Family Soup Kitchen expected to reopen this week after replacing its compressors on its refrigerators and walk-in freezers. Erica Clark-Jones keeps track of the needs of the homeless and the poor in Columbus, and she says those needs are increasing.
We've got to continue to create the environment in Columbus that says we want to take care of our fellow man, right? And that just, if you have, share.
Jones is a member of Mayor Michael Coleman's cabinet. She represents the city in finding ways to meet needs of the poor. Columbus police Sunday recovered a drowning victim in the Olentangy River near the 5th Avenue Dam. Police say 20-year-old Christian Hallam of Worthington was rafting on the Olentangy with friend Greg Polina. The raft capsized after going over the dam. Polina swam to safety. Hallam was sucked underwater by the downdraft of the dam. Federal investigators headed to Fremont this morning to check out why a World War II pilot and former state legislator Gene Damschroeder Sr. crashed his plane and killed all 6 people on board. Damschroeder was flying a fixed-wing single-engine plane when it crashed in a residential area. The Highway Patrol says no one on the ground was injured. Witnesses say they saw the plane crash in a field less than a mile from Damschroeder's private airplane. Ohio lawmakers hoping to keep up their work on some key proposals this week so they can then go on summer vacation. Many of the rest of us. State House correspondent Bill Cohen has that to say.
Tops on the agenda for lawmakers this week is final passage of a compromise $1.3 billion capital improvements bill and budget correction plan. They'll also be trying to come to agreement on how Ohio can ratify a multi-state compact to prevent the diversion of water from the Great Lakes. Most lawmakers appear to favor the plan, but there is some disagreement over whether it should be linked to a proposed constitutional amendment that would clarify the right of Ohioans to the reasonable use of the water on their own land. This week, Governor Ted Strickland is expected to sign into law more than a dozen other proposals legislators passed earlier, among them a measure giving more legal protection to people who shoot home intruders or otherwise kill or injure someone in self-defense. The bill also includes other changes favored by the National Rifle Association and opposed by gun control advocates. This may also be the week that Strickland signs most of a $1.5 billion job creation plan into law. He's already made it clear, though, he intends to veto at least one part. That's a provision that would bar any money allocated for biomedical research from being used for embryonic Cohen at the Ohio Public Radio State House News Bureau.
The class of 2008 at Ohio State University, 7,800 strong, now has their degrees. They endured